All right, we are in Learning Plan 9, and we're going to be covering Chapter 12. All right, so there's the checklist, and let's jump right in. You have the discussion board post for this learning plan and the journal starter. All right, key concepts. So we're going to be discussing the end phase of counseling. And one of the things we want to look at is our termination skills. So how do we terminate the session with our client? How do we cope with the feelings of loss that they may extend or that we as helpers may have as well? What are some ways that we cope with those and work through those and process those? And it's important that we help the client process through that change as well because it is a change, and for many clients that we serve, it's a big change and it's a big challenge for them. It can make them feel like they're kind of being kicked out in the cold, so to speak. And so we want to help them with that transition. One of the ways that we help them through that transition is by reviewing the goals that we as a partnership have established and worked on. And so reviewing those and celebrating the successes um, helps the client gain confidence in where they could go and their potential. And so it's important to review those goals and celebrate the successes and the wins. The goals that were not accomplished or maybe were left kind of by the wayside, if that's not a priority for the client to accomplish during that time period that you're meeting with them, then it's not a big deal to make a big deal about it. It's only a big deal if the client sees it as a priority. But on the other hand, if it is a priority for them, then they would have worked on those goals. All right. So another way that we kind of work through the termination process is allowing the client to discuss feelings, emotions that they have about their sessions with us, whether it be good, bad. Um, we just want to give them time to kind of open up and discuss those feelings with us. All right, so read about that, the process of termination. Um, and then we're also going to discuss the outcome evaluation. And so working in a helping field becomes very critical to have outcome measures to determine if what we're doing is successful or if we need to tweak something or change something. And it also becomes necessary and it helps guide research because then it's the research that should be telling us what direction we need to be moving in for treatment. And so when we discuss outcome measures, we want to look at certain data. We want to look at progress notes. We want to look at goal completion, self-report data from the client themselves. A good example is in the corrections field. We want to reduce recidivism. Um, and the way that we do that is by tracking new arrests or new convictions. And there's always a debate about what is considered recidivism. Is it a new arrest or is it a new conviction that brings that person back into the criminal justice field or system? And so we look at some different measures and decide if what we're doing is working or if it needs to be tweaked. So for instance, there's some research out of the University of Cincinnati that states it's best for high risk, high need clients in the criminal justice system to receive so many hours of contact, and it's right around 200 or more. And then once you hit that 200 hours of contact, then recidivism has been shown to reduce. And so it's that type of research that we use to kind of determine what type of programming we need to set in place to accomplish those goals. And so outcome evaluations become crucial to any type of helping program. All right, and so you'll be able to read more about that in your text as well. There's a PowerPoint. All right, the journal starter for this learning plan. number one or number two. Number one requires at least 2 paragraphs. Number two requires at least 2 paragraphs. Um, and we're going to be, of course, focusing on the termination skills, termination process. All right, and the discussion board as well. Everyone should be experts on this and earning 20 points every single learning plan. Choose one of the prompts. Oh, I forgot to mention, don't forget to add your 3 good things for the week. All right, discussion board, you have several different prompts actually that you can choose from. So choose one that you feel you can explain the best and give the most um, supporting statements for. All right, so that's it for this learning plan. Now this is the next to the last learning plan, so when you move to learning plan 10, all you're going to have is the final transcript and the final journal. And so I'll be covering that in learning plan 10. See you there.